Hello BookTube, it's Roz. It's not Tuesday, but I'm here with a quick tag because Alan of Big Hard Books and Classics did a new original tag and tagged quite a few of us. But do you know what you did, Alan? You didn't actually write the questions down in the description. So although I noted it down to do, I then had to make sure I went back and rewatched it and wrote the questions down. So it could be why I don't think anyone's done it. But I thought I would. And the reason that I'm doing it today is because, and meant to get it up yesterday, is because yesterday was Tuesday, but also was the first anniversary of the date when the UK first went into lockdown because of COVID. And this tag is the Covid Katchup Tag, Ketchup. So it seemed very appropriate for this particular week, as it were, because when we went into that first lockdown, did we imagine that we'd still be in one a year later? I mean, we've come in and out since, but no, I don't think we did. I don't think we had a clue. So, question number 1. Alan asks, when did you first hear about COVID-19? And he says that he first heard the actual words COVID-19 from me, because before, I think I mentioned it on BookTube, and before he'd heard vaguely about this thing in China, and but I think, we were aware of it sooner here in the UK, and I first heard about it in a specific way quite early on, because Brighton, where I live, was one of the first places in the UK to know that they had COVID cases. I mean, in retrospect, there probably were others before that, but one of the first outbreaks was some people who'd come back from abroad and were in Brighton, and linked actually to a local GP surgery. It was very quickly kind of captured and sat upon and cleared up, but of course it's come back many times over since. So that was in February, maybe even the end of January. Yeah, so really early on. Question number 2, Alan asks, how are things in your neck of the woods at the moment? Are churches open yet, or shops? What's doing? Well, here in England, right now, we still have virtually nothing open, although things are going to start easing up soon. So no, churches aren't open. At least I don't think so. I don't go to church, but no, I'm sure they're not. I don't think you can go into places of worship even for private prayer, which is how it was before. Certainly not services. Libraries aren't open, which I really miss. Most shops aren't open. Only essential kind of like grocery type stores, that sort of thing. Takeaway food only, from restaurants and cafes. Yeah, so we're still pretty closed down. This is about to change for us, whereas I know in France they've just gone back into, and in Germany they're going back into a lockdown, and we're really, really hoping here that this is the last time, because we've got a lot of vaccination going on in the UK. Question number 3, beach reading. Any books you're looking forward to reading after COVID? And I know what Alan means, because he's imagining kind of like, holiday reading and something you might be looking forward to when we can finally leave our homes and leave our local areas. Well, I'm really looking forward to being able to get away and go somewhere different. I love to travel, even just within the UK. I love to travel, and I'm really missing it. But I won't read anything different when I do, so there's not a specific thing I'm looking forward to reading when I get that opportunity. But what I would say is that I've been all the more glad over this past year of COVID, of being able to travel by book. And I've done a lot of travelling by book over the last year, and you scally down to some of those places with me if you watch this channel regularly. And the next place that I'm looking forward to going is Nicaragua, and I'm going to read The Inhabited Woman in April by Gioconda Belli, and I'm reading that with a BookTube commenter that you may know, and that's The Quiet Midden, Robin. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. Question number 4, a book you've read these last months, directly or indirectly, due to COVID-19. Now, again, I was thinking, oh, well, I haven't read anything different because of COVID-19. But then I realised that I did, in that this Christmas just gone, I did what I called my genre Christmas, kind of a holiday of reading genre books that I wouldn't normally read, you know, horror and romance and fantasy and science fiction and all of that. And I did. That was because of COVID, because normally Christmas for me is full of cooking and family visits and all of that. Whereas, because we couldn't do any of that, uh, then had more time to read, and I could take on the fun of reading almost like a book a day of different genre things. And I particularly enjoyed the horror book that I read, which was Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House, and I loved the cozy mystery I read because that was An Heir to Murder by booktuber Charlie Heathcote, and I might not ever have read that. I don't know if it hadn't been for that, and what fun it was, and I will read more. So, question number 5: the best video you've made or seen during COVID. Sorry. Now, one of the effects of COVID is that we've all had to learn to use things like Zoom and MS Teams and all those kind of, virtual meeting kind of apps. And that's meant that there's been a whole load of videos made of Zoom conversations about books. And Sean, the book maniac, has made some absolute stunners. And I was really lucky to do uh, 2 of those with him, which I enjoyed enormously, and would definitely that has been probably one of my most fun experiences of COVID. And although he's in Japan and I'm in the UK, so we couldn't have met to do a book discussion anyway. I don't think perhaps we'd have thought of doing these so many Zoom ones if it hadn't been for the COVID experience. And Tilly and I have used that for some of our discussing drama um, videos this year. And when we planned to do discussing drama, we thought, oh well, we get to meet up regularly enough that we'd be able to do that together. And instead, yeah, we've done a number on Zoom, and actually they've been much better than the couple that we tried to do socially distanced out of doors when we were allowed to sort of meet but not meet, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Question number 6, and the final question: are you going to have the jab, the shot, the vaccine? Yes, I've already had one, first dose, and my second dose is in May, and I'm so grateful that that was available to me. And I wish it was available to everyone that wants to have it all around the world right now, so that we can get better control over this pandemic and get more of our lives back, particularly being able to be with the people we love. So yeah, but I appreciate that not everyone feels the same way as I do about vaccines. And then, of course, finally, we need to tag people. Now, I find this difficult because eh, Alan has already tagged quite a lot of the people that would kind of naturally spring to mind. So I think I will say, because it's kind of quite a simple and short tag, just do it if you fancy it. But I will tag Kit of Kitswell because he said, "Oh, people don't tag me, so I will tag him." And I will tag Tilly because I'm teasing her now by tagging her every time because she started doing tags again. But also she has a very particular COVID experience. And I shall leave it at that. But thank you, Alan.